Life has started. अच्छा, इतनी देर तक ये चल रहा था, अभी सब ठीक हो गया है? अभी सुनाई दे रहा है सर? So what is financial crime? Hmm. Therefore, what is financial crime? Financial crime is a crime that committed by individual or group involving taking money or other property that belongs to someone else to obtain a financial gain or a professional advantage. There are two activities associated with the financial crime. Activities that involve financial crime is a crime that committed by individuals or groups involving taking money. Crime is a crime that committed by individual or group involving taking money or other property that belongs to someone else and obtain financial gain or a professional advantage. There are two activities of financial crime: activities that involve gendered wealth and to protecting that money. Activities that involve gendered wealth and protecting that money. Again, I'm repeating it. Financial crime is a crime that is committed by an individual or group involving taking money or other property that belongs to someone else. And there are rules taking money, taking money or other property that belongs to someone else to obtain a financial gain or a professional advantage. So the following crimes are normally considered to be financial crime: money laundering. The following crimes are normally considered to be financial crime. The following crimes are normally considered to be financial crime: money laundering, terrorism financing, fraud, cybercrime, bribery, and corruption. The following crimes are normally considered of the following crimes are normally considered to be financial crime: money laundering, terrorism financing, fraud, cybersecurity, bribery, and corruption. Money laundering. Money laundering is a process whereby the origin money laundering is a process whereby the origin of money obtained for illegal activities is converted into legitimate source. Money laundering is the origin of money obtained for illegal activities converted into legitimate source. Is converted into terrorism financing is a process where financial support is provided to individuals. Financing is a process where financial support is provided to individual credit for terrorist organizations. Even financial support is provided to individuals. Terrorist organization fraud is dishonesty, obtaining a benefit or causing loss by deception. Fraud is dishonestly obtaining a benefit or causing a loss by deception. Cybercrime is the use of computers, computer network devices to commit crime. Corruption is the dishonest or fraudulent conduct. It is the dishonest or fraudulent conduct of those who hold position of power. Bribery involves offering, giving, or receiving anything of value with the intention of inducing a person to act or to reward a person or having acted. Offering, giving, receiving anything of value with the intention of inducing a person to act or reward a person or having acted. Bribery involves offering, giving, or receiving anything of value with the intention of inducing a person to act or reward a person or having acted. Predicate offences or predicate crimes are crimes which form part of a larger crime. Financial crime is uh, financial crime is not a victimless crime and can have a devastating social and emotional well-being impact on individual as well as the financial interest and reputational organization. Financial crime is a low-risk, high-reward venture, can involve the commission of a crime by faceless criminals using a method that are obscured behind intricate process which take advantage of remote location, technology, and anonymity. So far, so good. When only remote and effort to process control activities to identify the money laundering risk and involve customer due diligence, professional condition, monitoring, screening. There is not just one job or one system, it's a broader crime network. Now, module 2, KYC, CB, EDD, and PET. Money laundering is about taking dirty money, washing it, and legitimizing it. The financial money is about taking dirty money, washing it, legitimizing it. The Financial Action Task Force is the global money laundering terrorism financing watchdog. The Financial Action Task Force (FATF) is a global money laundering and terrorism financing watchdog. It operates an intergovernmental level. It operates at an intergovernmental level, sitting between government globally to create international standards that aim to prevent money laundering and terrorism financing. Intergovernmental level, sitting between government operates an intergovernmental level, sitting between governments globally to create international standards aiming to prevent money laundering, terrorism financing, and halt any activity caused to society. And is the process of rhyming criminal process to disguise their illegal origin. The process of disguise their illegal origin. Criminals are very focused on attempting to create legitimacy around how they have earned revenue and income. Criminals are focused on attempting to create legitimacy. These three stages of money laundering are placement, layering, and integration. Trade-based money laundering is the process of disguising the proceeds of crime by moving funds, so trade transaction is attempting to legitimize their illegal origin or financial illegal activities. What is KYC? KYC, know your customer. The basic idea is to understand who the customer is and then you can relationship. Okay. Trade-based money laundering is the process of disguising the proceeds of crime by moving funds through a trade transaction and attempting to legitimize the illegal origin of financial activities. Trade-based money laundering is the process of disguising the proceeds of crime by moving funds through a trade transaction and attempting to legitimize their illegal origin or financial illegal activities. Anti-Money Laundering is the process of visualizing the process of crime by moving funds through trade transaction in an attempt to legitimize the illegal origin or the finance illegal activity. So, it is the process of visualizing the process of attempting the financial intelligence unit. Guidance in the financial intelligence unit guidance to get their professional money laundered use money laundering extensively. This can include methods like mispricing, phantom shipment, over or under shipment, indicate of traders. So I think phantom shipment. What is phantom? So let's check what is phantom. Hmm, काल्पनिक. Hangover or undershipment indicators of trade based on money laundering include customers suddenly being involved in the import-export of goods, customer who appears to conduct business exclusively with a single counterpart, and unexplained change in transaction volume or value, evidence of consistent and significant cash payments, including to previously unknown third parties. Terrorism plays a catastrophic Terrorism plays a catastrophic role. What do we cover in this lecture? Explore how terrorism financing is executed and the actors involved in the terrorism financing. What do we cover in this lecture? Explore how terrorism financing is executed and the actors involved in terrorism financing. Terrorism, terrorism plays Terrorism plays a catastrophic role in our society, including death, violence, and impact. Terrorism plays a catastrophic role in our society, including death, violence, societal impacts, financial loss. The four deadliest terrorist groups at the time of the recording of the lecture were Al-Shabaab, Islamic State, the Taliban, and the JNIM. Terrorism is a form of violence that is motivated by politics, ideology, and religion. It involves acts of threat of violence that are intended to achieve the objective of a terrorist individual or organization. Terrorism consists of both international and domestic terrorism. Terrorism financing enforces the means and methods used by terrorist organizations to finance their activity. Encompasses का मतलब क्या है? Let's find out. अंतर्गत कई terrorism financing encompasses the meaning of कई भरना the means and method used by the terrorism organization. Oh wait, शामिल कर लेना मतलब terrorism financing शामिल करता है the means encompasses the means and method used by terrorist organization to finance the activity. The funds can come from legitimate means as well illegal activity. For example, drug trafficking, terrorism financing process consists of raising funds, moving funds, and using funds. Explored how the fundamental of fraud, what we cover in this lecture. Okay. Fraud can be measured in the trillions of dollars each year. No one will know the exact cost. Unlike money laundering and terrorism financing, there is a less of a regulatory overhead involved here for financial service companies. Unlike money laundering and terrorism financing, there is a less of regulatory. There is a less of regulatory. इसका मतलब होता है मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग और आतंकवाद का वित्त पोषण फाइनेंसिंग के विपरीत यहाँ वित्तीय सेवा कंपनी के लिए नियमों का अनुपालन का बोझ कम होता है. Financial services are focused on three things: unlike money laundering, business financing with less regulatory overhead involving with financial service companies. Financial services are focused on three things when it comes to fraud: protecting the bottom line, protecting their reputation, and protecting their customers. Fraud is dishonestly obtaining benefits or causing a loss by deception. The three categories of frauds are external fraud, internal fraud, employee fraud, and collusion. Both types of fraud include application fraud, scam, identity takeover, digital fraud, card fraud, and check fraud. Now we will understand about the sanctions. Hmm, ठीक. Now we will learn about background on sanction, why sanctions are used by the government globally. The UN मतलब United Nations defines sanctions as a measures not involving the use of armed force, including a complete or a partial interruption of economic relations. Sanctions are used like this. I am so sorry. No, no, no. That's not right. ठीक करते हैं. Let's see. ठीक है. Now, the second sanction and why sanctions are used by the governments globally. The UN defines sanctions as a measure not involving investment. Learned about background sanction. Why the UN defines sanction as a measure not involving the use of armed forces, including a complete partial interruption of economic relations. Sanctions are used in situations like repression of human rights. Measures not involving the use of armed forces, including a complete or a partial interruption of economic relationship. Sanctions are used in situations like repression of human rights. Sanctions are used in the repression of human rights, proliferation of weapons and mass destruction and environmental destruction. Sanctions are intended to limit the adverse consequences in situations of international concern and seek to influence those responsible for the situation to modify their behavior and they remove the concern. There are two types of sanction regime: international, for example, the United Nations Security Council, and autonomous, which are applied by individual government. Sanctions are challenge for banks to apply. Sanctions are challenge for banks to apply in practice because of multi-jurisdiction impacts. An obligation involved with sanction. The types of sanction or at the disposal of a government are economic sanction, diplomatic sanction, and military sanction. The types of sanction at the disposal governments are economic sanction, diplomatic sanction, military sanctions, and sports sanctions. Now we will understand the drive into the range of system that banks run. Divide into the bank system that banks run and how they interoperate and their relevance of financial crime. Outline. अरे भैया नो. Divided into range of system that banks run and how they interpret and their relevance to financial crime. ঠিক আছে? Banking system are used to pass the data required for financial and technology solution. Banking system are used to pass the data required for a financial and technology solution. This include customer account, product, and transactional data, which all essential for enabling financial crime technology. Technology conceptual architecture is a high-level view of how a land conceptual architecture is a high-level view of how landscape of system hangs together. Conceptual architecture is a high-level view of how a landscape system hangs together. Explain an abstract level. The fundamental of an architecture. Normally, there are three layers in banking architecture. The presentation layer, which is referred to a front end. The middle layer, middleware layer, covering things like security integration, orchestration. There is the backend layer, which covers API, digital banking platforms, data analytics, and importantly, the banking core system. Banking core systems are complex but critical for the successful operation. of a bank, and it's here along with the digital banking sublayer where much of the data needed to the financial crime technology to the works come from. I'll show you the architecture. The first part will be the presentation layer where मोबाइल ऐप यूजर जैसे एक्सेस करते हैं चैटबॉट एटीएम मिडिल लेयर हो गया जैसे ऑथेंटिकेशन फायरवॉल मोबाइल का पासवर्ड डालने के बाद जो आता है मैसेजिंग प्रोसेसिंग क्वालिटी और प्रोसेसिंग रूल्स हो गया उसके बाद जो आता है बैकएंड लेयर में जैसे आप लोग स्टेटमेंट डाउनलोड करते हैं इंटरनल एपीआई बहुत सारा डिटेल्स रहता है बहुत चीज़ चेक करने का ट्रांजेक्शन डेटा वेयर हाउस क्लाउड इसमें बहुत डिटेल कॉम्प्लेक्स है ठीक है। तो अब आ गया है व्हाट इज ट्रांजैक्शन मॉनिटरिंग। ट्रांजैक्शन मॉनिटरिंग में वी विल कवर एक्सप्लोर ट्रांजैक्शन मॉनिटरिंग explore transaction monitoring and technology used. Transaction monitoring forms one part of an overall ecosystem. Transaction monitoring forms one part of an overall ecosystem of financial crime process and technology, including customer onboarding. Transaction monitoring is one part of overall ecosystem of process technology, including customer identification, KYC, sanction screening, PEP screening, often referred to as sanction filtering, PEP filtering, assessing transaction monitoring technology. Transaction monitoring forms one part of an overall ecosystem management process and technology, including customer onboarding, KYC, sanction screening, PEP screening, often referred to as sanction filtering, PEP assessing customer is also a vital process that happens in financial crime and that is ongoing process that needs to ensure the current informs the financial crime risk appetite of a bank is comprehensive view of AML CTF. What is CTF? So we have to find what is CTF. Counter-terrorism financing and fraud related risk bank exposed to tolerance it has dealing with this risk. The include customer related risk, product related risk, location related risk. KYC is made up of three components: customer identification, customer due diligence, and customer continuous monitoring. Transaction monitoring forms a part of continuous monitoring. Transaction monitoring involves the monitoring of customer transactions, both value and non-value transactions, to understand if unusual activity is happening that is indicative of money laundering, terrorist financing, and fraud. This is a transaction monitoring. KYC is made of three components: alert management user guide. How this thing works. Overview of FCCM. The chapter is Oracle Financial. FCCM was financial crime complex banking environment when laundering enterprise edition monitors possible money laundering activities, this scenario consider whether the geographical location ठीक अच्छे इसको अभी छोड़ देते हैं transaction monitoring scenarios ठीक है transaction monitoring scenarios तो ट्रांजैक्शन मॉनिटरिंग सिनेरियोज में हम लोग क्या कवर करेंगे एक्सप्लोर द रोल ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शन मॉनिटरिंग सिनेरियोज एक्सप्लोर the role of transaction monitoring scenarios and specialist knowledge understanding and the skill needs to create the scenarios. Typology are used to educate people working in banking finance. Just a moment, guys. Transaction monitor explored the role of transaction monitoring scenarios and specialist knowledge skill needed to create scenario. Typologies are used to educate people working in banking financial crime as well as the providing of reference point for financial crime experts looking to create transaction monitoring scenarios. Typologies. Transaction monitoring scenarios are an interpretation of financial crime typologies into a set of profiles, rules, and thresholds that a transaction monitoring system can use. Monitoring scenarios require the application of data profiles. Level and threshold it will create a comprehensive set of logic that are TML that can use to identify transaction and user. Of data profiles and threshold eventually create a comprehensive set of logic. Alert logic is also important. Remember that 95% of alerts are false positive. So, in other words, operational noise alert logic allows scenarios modelers to create super scenarios and therefore allow alert scoring to be applied on the way these alerts has higher priority for trials possible investigation. This was in-depth lecture and I highly recommend to tell you the details. Okay, thank you for now. We will I will come again and join with you guys all. Please come and watch this series. So it will motivate me to create more series like this. So far I have seen only one or two people join. It's no problem. It's my first day in this series. Okay, thank you. Good night, everyone. I'm ending this thing.